everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I curl my hair and how I curl any of my clients that I have for proms or weddings or any events. So what I'm going to be using for my hair today is a 1¼ inch barrel. Usually for weddings or proms I use a 1-inch barrel, but typically on myself I always use a 1¼ inch. I'm going to start with the iron off since I'm going to do it really slow. It would probably be best to practice with it off first until you get the motion down, then try it with a really low setting because we don't want to burn our hair. I always like to curl my hair away from my face, so one of the main tricks that I do, or I try to tell people when I'm teaching them how to use a clamp, the clamp always needs to face the mirror. Depending on whatever side you're on, the clamp always faces the mirror. That way the curl is always going away from your face. Okay, so starting with the face framing, we're going to take a section. And so we're going to make sure that clamp is facing the mirror. So the clamp is always going to be on top. So we're going to grab closer to the root, because if we grab down here, if you have any type of layers, they're just going to fall out as you're trying to roll all the way up. So you always want to start by the root because that's where we want the curl to start. So we're going to take our section, make sure the clamp is facing the mirror, and it's going to be on top of the hair. So when we go to grab the hair and put it in the clamp, it's going to be on top. So we're going to grab close to the root, and we're going to do a full turn. And I like to kind of use my thumb to kind of slightly open that clamp so that the hair kind of goes through it easier as I'm trying to pull it down and turn. And I like to usually have like 2 little sections of my turn on there before I twist out. So I'll show you that again. I'm going to kind of open it up a little bit more and twist, and then I'm going to go under and go down to the end, and I'm going to twist under and twist under. And that's how I like to do mine. Okay, so let's go over that again. So we're going to take our section, make sure the clamp is facing the mirror. It goes on top of the hair. Then we're going to slightly open that to pull the hair down a little bit to twist up. Slightly open it a little bit more. And we're going to come down a little bit. And we're going to take the top of the barrel and go under the hair. That's what's going to create a good twist. And then we're going to come down a little bit more and go under, under, under. And you're just going to keep going under until you reach the bottom of your hair. Then for the back section, we're going to take a little section. Again, the clamp is still going to be facing the mirror, so it's going to go on top of the hair. We're going to pull out a little bit and twist up, pull down a little bit and go under, and then repeat. So go down, go under, under, under. It's really just kind of getting used to twisting the iron. For this side, it's the same process. We're just going to use our thumb, where on this side I had my finger. This side I'm going to be using my thumb a lot more. So I'll take my section and I use my thumb to open that up so that the clamp is still facing the mirror. So the clamp is on top of the hair. I let it close. I tap a little bit so that it opens to pull that hair through. Wrap it up. Then I go under, tap it open to pull it down, go under, get the last little bit of hair in there, go under, go under. For a back section, so make sure clamp is facing the mirror, we grab that hair, we pull it down and twist up. And then we'll bring it down a little bit, twist under, twist under, tap it down, twist under, twist under. And that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the iron on so that you can see what the curls look like. And then I'll show you the process with the iron on. Okay, so another trick that I like to tell people is you never want to take a section bigger than your barrel. So like I wouldn't want to grab like a huge, like this huge chunk and curl it. You can, but I just don't like the way the curls end up looking, and I like mine to look a little bit more uniform. I always try to tell people to pick up a section of hair that's about the same width as your barrel. Okay, so I just took my heat protectant and sprayed it all over my hair and brushed it through. So now I'm just going to section it off. I typically do about 3 sections, and I'll start with my sections being pretty small. I'm going to take up about half of my hair, and I divide it in half. I typically start with the back hairs first so that I can make sure I don't miss any hairs. I typically keep my iron at 320 degrees. Sometimes I'll go below that, but for the most part I'm just using the 320. Starting with the back section, take a little section, make sure the clamp is facing the mirror. So I'm going to use my finger, open it up. And I like to keep this hair out of the way so I don't keep grabbing it when I'm trying to bring the iron down. Twist up, open it to pull it down, twist. And then do you see where that twist is? That's where I like to wrap the barrel back up to before I twist under again. So I'll top down, twist under, get those last little pieces, twist and twist. And that's our curl. If you like your ends to be a little bit straighter, instead of doing that last twist, you can just pull it straight down and it'll make your ends a little bit straighter, giving more of like that Utah curl look. Again, we don't want our sections to be much bigger than the width of our barrel. Starting at the root, pull it down and wrap it up. Typically, I will roll until I have these 2 rolled in, and then we just have this end in. So you'll just have those 3 little spots where the hair is in. Once I get 3, that's how I know to roll it under. So then I'll pull back out, roll it under. I've got 3, so I go under. And once you get to the ends are going to be a little bit thinner than the root. So you can take those off a lot faster because they've been next to the heat the whole time. So you won't have to hold your ends in as long as you did your root. And there we go, this section's done. So on to the next section. We're going to start from the back, take our section. Okay, and again on this side I use my thumb, where on this side I use my finger. So clamps facing the mirror, start towards the root, roll that up, down a little bit, and go under. There we go. Sometimes when we do get a section that's a little bit wide right there towards the root, it's kind of hard to twist under it and it'll get caught. So sometimes you can use your finger to like help lift that up at the base so that the curling iron can get underneath it. And if you find that to be an issue and it happens a lot and it just keeps messing up your curl, you can always separate that section and just make it 2. That way the curling iron can make it under a little bit easier. And I like my curls to be a little bit more beachy. So if you like yours to be super beach waves, the more you twist and make that twist tighter, the more of a beachy wave you'll get. So we finished our bottom section. So now we're gonna take out our neck section. I like to keep all of my curls I've already done behind me and then I bring the new sections forward. That way I don't get lost, and I make sure that every hair is curled. Okay, so we have our next section ready. So I have all my curls behind me, and the hair that's not been curled is in front. So again, starting from the back, we're gonna grab our back section, clamps facing the mirror, start at the root, pull down, I think the hardest part is like figuring out how much you should curl and turn the curling iron while you're doing it. Once you put the clamp on, I roll it up once so that you have just this piece and this piece in there. And then once you pull down and roll up again to have 3 rolls on the iron, that's when you take 1 off. So you always just want to have 2. So you'll add the 3rd, take 1 off. So you'll pull down, now you have 3. So the top one needs to go. So then you'll pull it down again, roll up, now we have 3. And then those bottom ones, again, because they're on the iron for so long and they're not as thick as the root, those don't have to stay on as long. So really by the time you get to the end and you have just that little bottom section left, you can really just twist those off. So I'm gonna leave these out to go in with my face framing once I get to the top layer. So again, starting by the root, pull out. So now we have our 2 loops on. So we're gonna pull it out a little bit to add 3. Pull out. So we have 3, so we need to make the top one go. Pull out and roll up to that twist. So now we have 3 again. Take the top of the barrel, go under, pull it down a little bit. And see, if you open it too much, the curl falls out. So you have to be really careful about how hard you push this to open it. Otherwise that curl will fall out. So we have 3, go under. We have 3 again. Take the top of the barrel and go forward. Go down again, twist up to right there. We have 3, top one has to go. And we're at that bottom part, so these just get twisted down. That's it. So onto this side. Take the back section. Clamps facing the mirror. We're using our thumb at the root. Pull it down a little bit. Go up. So now we have 3. Top one needs to go. Pull it down. So now we have 3. Top one needs to go. And I'm going to pull down to get the last little bit in there. And those warm up pretty quick, so we're just going to twist all of those off. Going to leave those face framing pieces out for the last layer. Okay. So now we're done with that layer. We're going to take our last little bit down, split it in half, and bring it forward. Grab our section. And I like to make sure that they're smoothed out really well so that there's not any weird creases or anything like that, to make sure that the hair looks smooth in the curl. Grab by the root, pull out, pull up. So we have 2 sections. So I'm going to pull out a little bit and go under to make it where we only have 2 again. So now we're going to pull down again And you can see that twist of where we just took that hair off. So we're gonna roll back up to that and then go under, pull out, roll back up to that twist. Now we have 3. So we're gonna take the barrel and go towards the mirror. And then again, the bottom pieces heat up way faster. So we're just gonna roll those out. You always want to make sure you pull it out a little bit before you twist under. That way it doesn't pull your hair or anything like that, and it's smooth whenever you go under. And when I'm twisting those off at the end, I'm twisting the barrel as well as coming under. Which sounds really confusing, but I'll show you that going really slow. And I always like to leave a little bit out still, otherwise it'll start to fall through. So on these last ones, we're going under and then twisting the barrel. Go under, twist the barrel, under, twist. So you're like doing a half turn every time you go under until you reach the end of that hair. So I'll show you that again. And this is how much we're leaving out, just a little tiny bit. We're going under, half turn, under, half turn, under, and this should be the last one. So you turn and under and pull. If you're like me and have face framing that starts up here and then blends out, but they're all different lengths, don't worry, it all will fit in the barrel. Sometimes they come out a little bit before the rest of it because it's not as long. That's totally fine. It all still curls the same, and when you brush your curls out, they'll still look uniform and they'll all still look identical. Okay, got that last little bit in there, so go under, half turn, under, half turn, under, half turn, and pull. So my face framing, I like it to have a little bit more of a swoop, so I don't take this curl all the way up. I leave it down here and stop here so that it has more of a swoop to it when I take it out. So this is as far as I'll curl it up. That way it'll give this swooping look. And then see, it'll cause that hair to swoop a little bit more than if I would have taken it all the way up to here. Up. Go under. Sometimes this happens, it's totally fine. We'll grab it once we drop this curl. So same as the other side, we're not going to curl it all the way up like we do on all the other pieces. We're going to start at the root, but we're going to pull it out. And this is as far as we're going to go. So that way it'll create that natural swoop. And if some of them fall out, that's totally fine because they're still going to have that swoop look. If that bothers you and you want it to stay in, you can always restart. But as long as mine have a little bit of a swoop look to them, I don't really put them back in. So now that we're finished, we're gonna let them completely cool off before we brush through them. If you brush through your hair too quickly right after you curl it, it'll make your curls fall a lot faster and they won't last as long. Okay, so now that our curls are completely cooled off, I like to either use my fingers or I'll use a wide tooth comb to brush them out. And I just kind of comb through everywhere. like to kind of make sure that these are going back the way I want. If you want that swoop to be higher up, you could always take that curling iron a little bit higher than what I did on those face framing. And we are done. That is how I do my everyday curls, how I curl my brides, and how I curl anyone that comes for proms or events. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. Comment below any tutorials you would like to see. If you have any questions or anything like that, I'd be happy to answer or do a more in-depth video if you have more questions on how I do my curls. See you next time.